Director, chat about Red, your role here, and how you've got to be the Operations Director today. So for those who don't know you, just introduce who you are, what you do, and basically how you started your role at Red.
Okay, so I'm Mathew Wolfenden, Operations Director. I started with Red back in 2003, and my first job when I was 15 was painting the shop floor toilets.
Jeez, they really threw you in at the deep end there, didn't they?
Loved it.
Wow. The smells would have been delightful. So obviously you've literally went from the ground, shop floor ground, to Operations Director. What other roles have you had that you think have helped you be in the position that you are today?
So I've worked across the business, all across the shop floor. So loading and unloading wagons. I worked on the panel saw, the beam saw, the CNC, in wet spray, in cab shop, picking and packing in stores, done site work, delivery driving.
I'm surprised you didn't install the kitchen sink. Gosh, right? So, and then from that, I know that sometimes people find it a bit hard going from more of the hands-on role, because obviously you're office-based now. How did you find the transition from that, and how do you still get your kicks on the shop floor?
I think that's what I love about part of my job is that, okay, majority of it is office-based, but I still get out and about on the shop floor. You know, I always go around speaking to the guys every morning, or the team, sorry. You know, I'll go out, help them, come up with ideas, look at new machinery that we need. Yeah, so I get a bit of both, really.
Yeah, best of both worlds, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So you've been at the helm of the business for quite some time now. Yeah, you showed your age earlier, didn't you? But what is it about Red that got it basically off the ground?
So, Red was do you know the background?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So
no one else does.
Oh, right, okay. So Red was established back in 2007. Previously Ripple Developments, but then changed to Red Manufacturing. And what we did was we had the joinery side only, and then what we created was an engineering side, which is where Red Manufacturing came from. Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously, I had no clue about manufacturing beforehand. So just even whenever I got started with the business, what I noticed from competitors was that they either did one or the other, like joinery or engineering. How do you manage in the space doing both, and what competitive advantage do you think that brings to us and obviously help with our customers as well?
It's interesting with the joinery and the engineering, two sides of the business coming to one, I suppose. A customer came to me last week, a new customer, and they buy some parts from a joinery shop, and they buy metalwork from a complete separate engineering shop. And what they found is that if there was any form of anomaly with their suppliers, they would instantly blame each other.
Oh, really?
The customer was always the one in the middle, absorbing all the costs. So the reason why they came to us was because we can bring everything, both joinery and engineering, under one, and we give the client the end product.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that they need, any technical questions, any advice, we've got all that knowledge under one roof.
Yeah. Wow. I suppose it just saves the customer so much faff and hassle. And even just, as you say, they're basically trying to be mediators in the whole situation.
Yep. Exactly. We're a one-stop shop. That's it. And, you know, so for, again, the same customer, because I understand engineering and joinery, I managed to strip out materials where it had been over-specced, so where we could reduce on the spec of the materials to reduce the cost of the job for the client.
Wow. And I suppose is that something that's really integral to the values at Red, is trying to get the best price, quality, everything for the customer?
Absolutely. And you pay one delivery as well.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And then just with other people going to other competitors and stuff like that, we're obviously B2B. So what do you think are some common misconceptions about getting an external service partner in manufacturing with B2B companies? I know some people see it and they're like, oh, I'm scared about the cost implications. It's going to cost an arm and a leg. But we know that's not true, but some people don't really know that's true. So what have you come across in the market before?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, because of the size of company that we are, we can run from one-offs, and we're competitive with one-offs, and we can run all the way through to rollouts, whether that's 10 or 100 or 1,000. And I think because of the size of the business that we are, we can run every job through, ensuring that the customer gets exactly what they're after at the end.
Yeah. So just in terms of the size of the business that we are, what is the size of the operations?
So we have machine capacity. Is that what you mean? Yeah. So we've got a CNC machine, automated. We've got an automated Edgebander. We have 7 cabinet makers. We've got 2 wet sprayers. We've got a laser and folder operator and programmer. We've got 3 welders, a powder coater, and 3 in goods out and assembly.
Wow. Got everything there, don't you? So what is it that you think, or like how many, obviously we've got so many new machines and stuff in the last 5 years. What has been the investments and why have you made those?
So one of the machines was the laser, which is just behind us. And one of the reasons why we moved into the new laser is the cost of gas and electric going up, particularly last year, but also because we needed to be more competitive with faster speed with customer turnarounds, but also that the laser can run 10 times quicker than our old one.
Wow.
So that's made a huge difference to us. We've then bought a new CNC machine back in 2019. So where we had 2 machines, we've now got 1.
Oh,
and that's automated.
Wow.
So you used to have to cut it on one,
Yeah.
then you take it off, put it on a pallet, then load it onto the CNC individually as panels, where now load the full sheets on, and it just drags everything
Does it
through.
the whole way through. Wow. And I
So it
suppose
cuts and CNCs.
Yeah. I suppose that helps so much with efficiencies as well across the board. Yeah.
So there's efficiencies, lead times, and cost saving.
Yeah. And how important is efficiencies within the business?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive. So we introduced efficiencies back in 2016. One of our big objectives at the time was to increase our productivity as an overall business for 2 factors. One is that we can reinvest back into the business, so that's through profitability with machines, nicer space to work in, but also it meant that we could actually drive costs down with being more competitive for customers.
Yeah. Stunning. So what is it about the service and the things that we offer and provide to our customers that you think keeps them coming back? Obviously, I know you mentioned cost and that's always a bonus, but what else is there, do you think?
Honesty, communication is a big factor. And I think also knowing that the estimating team will look at a pack of drawings, if you like, and understand from the client what it is exactly they're after to see whether we can value engineer it. And if not, they know that all our customers that come back to us know that we are always great on quality.
Yeah.
And lead time, we always deliver on time.
You've got is that like the trio? Lead time, quality, price? Oh no, there's loads more. Communication, customers, everything. So obviously we've got a really good stable base and foundations have built so much over the years, even from looking at old content and stuff like that, the machine transformations, and I've heard all about the restructuring the layouts and efficiencies. But what is the vision for the future for Red?
The vision, keep on building what we've got. Don't want to be the biggest in the world, but want to be the best at what we do. It'd be nice to sweat the asset a bit more, I suppose, double shift it.
Okay.
Sort of get it working a bit more, which would then actually reduce lead times again. But yeah, just and have a fantastic team that we've got.
Yeah. No,
that is great. The main key ingredient for me is having a great team that we all work with, and we all enjoy what we're doing.
I think even from me coming in, well, I'm not new anymore, but whenever I first came in, I was like, wow, there's such a good foundation of a team here. And then I remember speaking with Hannah, and she said that the average staff length is 12 years or something like that for Red. I think that's just unheard of.
I know, especially for manufacturing.
Yeah.
Carl started when he was 16.
I know, I've seen the photos. The eyebrow piercing. I was like, wow. And he had no hair back then either.
No, he didn't. He's never had
So it
hair.
wasn't Red that made him lose his hair.
No, absolutely. He's never had hair since the day since I was yay big.
Yeah.
Since I remember. But yeah. I mean, again, I think, sort of investing in the building and making it a nice environment and just respecting people, and and I think that's part of why we've kept hold of people for such a long time, especially in manufacturing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it is that thing. It's like respect is earned, not just given straight away. And it's definitely a mutual thing. I can see, definitely. And I think it's nice for customers to see that once they come in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when customers do come in, they sort of feel what a great place it is to be.
Yeah, no, definitely. So obviously in future videos and stuff like that, we'll be talking more about the team, we'll be talking more about the machinery that I have to read up on and become an expert in. They'll be sick of me once I'm asking all these questions. But obviously that's an insight into what's coming up in the future videos. But just to wrap up on one final question, if you were stuck on a desert island and you could only bring one thing from the whole shop floor with you, what would it be and why?
Desert island.
I know.
The burner.
The burner? Why? Oh.
Because I could get heat.
Right.
I could cook. Because I could find wood.
There you go. Do you need any electricity for that?
Nope.
You don't? That's not hooked up to anything?
It is, but it will self.
Oh, but it will do it. It will. I was hoping.
Oh, you're just being clever now.
I know. I was like,
I know, you just tried to cut me out here now.
I was waiting for him to say like the laser, because
oh, what can I do with that?
I don't know, but everyone seems to geek out over it. So I was like, fair. I was like, oh, I'll catch him out now.
I was just thinking like heat, food, I could cook.
Glad to know you have common sense, and customers will be happy to know that as well. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and we look forward to the next video.
Perfect. Thank you.